Welcome back to Jesus Way, the channel where we share powerful stories that remind us that Jesus is still working miracles today. If this story touches your heart, please like the video, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs hope today. Now listen carefully, because this story may change the way you think about life forever. Michael Thompson never believed in God. He grew up hearing about Jesus from his grandmother, but as he got older, he dismissed it all as superstition. Religion is for weak people, he would often say. By the time he was 32, Michael had built a life around money, partying, and chasing success. He had a good job, expensive clothes, and plenty of friends, but deep down, something always felt empty. Still, he ignored that feeling. Until one night changed everything. It was a cold Friday evening when Michael left a party and got into his car. He had been drinking, but he convinced himself he was fine to drive. As he sped down the highway, his phone buzzed. For just 2 seconds, he glanced down at the screen. When he looked back up, headlights were coming straight at him. A truck had swerved into his lane. The crash was violent. Metal twisted. Glass shattered. The world went black. When paramedics arrived, Michael had no pulse. Doctors later said he was clinically dead for 6 minutes. But during those 6 minutes, Michael says something happened that he can never forget. He remembers suddenly standing in complete darkness. It wasn't just dark, it felt heavy, like a deep emptiness. Then in the distance, he heard something that terrified him. Screams. Voices crying out in pain. Michael said fear overwhelmed him in a way he had never experienced before. And then he heard a voice. A calm, powerful voice. The voice said, "Michael." He turned around. And suddenly the darkness was gone. In its place was a bright light, brighter than anything he had ever seen. But strangely, the light didn't hurt his eyes. Instead, it filled him with a peace he had never known. Standing in the light was a figure. Michael said he immediately knew who it was. Not because someone told him, but because every part of his soul recognized him. It was Jesus. Michael fell to his knees. He said he felt every mistake he had ever made, every lie, every selfish act, every moment he mocked God. He expected anger, judgment, condemnation. But instead, Jesus spoke gently. "Michael, I gave you life. But you lived as if I did not exist." Tears filled Michael's eyes. He tried to speak but couldn't. Then Jesus showed him something. Michael suddenly saw moments from his life, like scenes from a movie. He saw his grandmother praying for him. He saw the times he laughed at Christians. He saw the moments he ignored people who needed help. Every choice. Every action. Nothing was hidden. Michael said the shame was overwhelming. Then Jesus said something that shocked him. "You were not meant for darkness. I created you for more." At that moment, Michael felt a deep love, a love unlike anything he had ever experienced. And then Jesus asked him a question. "Will you follow me?" Michael didn't hesitate. "Yes, Lord." The moment he said those words, everything disappeared. Back in the hospital, doctors were rushing around the emergency room. Suddenly the heart monitor beeped. Michael's heart started beating again. One nurse shouted, "We've got a pulse." The doctors were stunned. They had already declared the situation nearly hopeless. But Michael was alive. When he finally woke up hours later, the first thing he said shocked everyone. "Jesus is real." From that moment on, Michael's life completely changed. He quit drinking. He left behind the lifestyle that once controlled him. And he began sharing his story everywhere he could. Today, Michael travels to churches, prisons, and schools telling people one simple message. Don't wait until it's too late to turn to Jesus. Because the same love that gave him a second chance is available to anyone who calls on his name. If this story moved you, remember this. Jesus is not just a story in an ancient book. He is alive. And he is still changing lives today. Thank you for watching Jesus Way. If you believe in the power of Jesus, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this story so more people can hear the truth. And remember, no matter how far someone has gone, Jesus can still bring them back.